The heart of a city is, or are its people, the people that live within the city.
So when I think of heart of the city, I think about the guiding force that allows the people in that community to make choices that are the best for that community.
I love every day to be able to come and be that voice of the underdog.
Even in the smallest way, if there's a small role that I can play in helping to increase community safety, then that's a role that I cherish. In 2013, our chief was interested in bringing a disability awareness class to our yearly training. And at that time, my son, who has a developmental disability, was about 5 years old. So I worked with officers and dispatchers and disability experts throughout our community, and I developed a curriculum. And in 2014, I taught my class to our agency, and it just kind of grew organically from that point on. And for the last 11 years, I estimate I've presented classes to 3,600 first responders in 6 different counties in Arizona.
I actually come from generational addiction. I have 7 years now sober from heroin and meth. I was experiencing homelessness at that time. I've also been incarcerated, but through all of that, I have been able to come out of the darkness and into the light. And so what my job here at the city is to show other people a light at the end of the tunnel.
I've been a volunteer with the program, Talk Time, since September 2019. The reason why I continue to do it is because it reminds me of my first years in school here in the US. I started as English as a second language student, and I remember the struggles. I faced difficulties understanding, pronouncing words, and even with confidence. So this Talk Time is a safe space to learn, gain confidence, and to lose that fear of speaking English. What does the audience say?
I was a middle school teacher, and being able to work with youth in high school, developing robots, teaching them technical skills, teaching them even non-technical skills, became a really big part of my identity and part of the work that I wanted to pursue. One of the challenges, though, is that there is a severe lack of STEM opportunities for a lot of students. For a number of reasons. It might be that school is just too small. They may not have the faculty, the human resources to pull it off, or even financial reasons. Our goal is to try to eliminate any potential barriers that may exist that may prevent somebody from engaging in the STEM fields.
We have a robust team of navigators who are out in the community, engaging in people experiencing homelessness, working with those moms that have their kids, sleeping in their vehicles, working with the guy that's having an addiction problem or a mental health crisis, folks that are going through all the things that I went through, that my team has been through, to engage in services either completely off the streets that day, hopefully in shelter, all the way up to the ultimate end goal of housing. So we work with people to get their most basic needs like food and water, state documents, the things they're going to need to get employment and get back on their feet again.
Culturally, we weren't really talking about disability at our agency. I know when I returned from work after maternity leave and I had this newborn baby with a disability, it was really hard to open up and talk about that. Over the years, I've had many officers recontact me, and they'll be super excited to share with me just a particular nugget of information changed or helped shape the outcome of a call for service. That's ultimately the biggest indicator of success. Are they able to take the information that they learn and translate that into action in the field?
It's not someone who's trying to be bad. It's someone that needs help, and someone who can't always tell you how to help them.
We start as young as middle school and go all the way to career and beyond, and that's part of the success that we're having, because the older students, the older team members, they can kind of look out for the younger generation. And it's important for the younger generation to have these role models that have gone through this before, that are accessible, that are relatable. And it's been really kind of an awesome thing to see, because we've kind of created our own network of mentors. If we can develop these students to be able to solve problems in creative ways and in ways where they're thinking about their community and the impact it's going to have, I think that's a success for them as well.
I want to continue learning, as well as teaching others to be confident in themselves. Everybody likes to be empowered, right? So they feel comfortable.
All right, beautiful voice.
After 20 years in the US, I still feel like the way my English flows is not as perfect as it should be. So being here, helping others, forget that fear, it helps me feel better in what I do, makes me feel like I'm contributing. I am helping the community, helping the residents of Chandler practice English. And if each week they learn a new word, or they're more empowered to speak without feeling judged, it's a win for me.
The great thing about the work that we do is that we're walking the journey with people every day, and so we get them when they're at their lowest point of life sometimes. We're just building them up and encouraging them and loving them right where they're at until they're able to get back on their feet again, and showing them from our own lived experience there is hope, and the city of Chandler loves you, and you're a part of this community like everybody else, and we're gonna get you to the next step.
So put my name right here.
Having a child with special needs and working within law enforcement and doing these trainings allows me to have that window into both worlds simultaneously. So for me, my livelihood and my community are all intertwined. And my son has really shined that path for me. I was totally unaware of the need for even something like this.
Okay, well, what are we doing? How are we going to resolve this?
It's about trying to make sure that the next generation has the same opportunities that I had growing up. This next generation, even though they have challenges and they're going through struggles, they know the important things. You create this community where you can step back and you can say, oh my gosh, I can't imagine what this would have been like otherwise. They know how to help each other, and they know how to be empathetic and always show heart.